Wait a minute, I don't remember now. So, we always begin with setting the intention, the posture, inviting the masters. So setting the intention, you know where the road, what the road is. We're bringing our attention to the experiences of breathing in, breathing out, and in between breaths, body. And then we are going down that road towards focused, attentive presence. We collect calm along the way. And then there's the decision to actually do the practice. So having set the intention, we could establish the posture. So taking a good upright, awake posture. The ready state, body and mind intimately connected. Your mind wants to follow where your body is going. So if your body is calm and awake, your mind will want to go to the same kind of focused, attentive, calm, awake presence. And then remembering and invoking the masters. So this practice has been accomplished for generation after generation by people just like us. And so we remember one of them or more. Could be a teacher, or it could be an example of focused, alert presence. I sometimes think of my grandmother. He was an extraordinary but regular person. So whoever that is for you, imagine them in front, and they are sharing with you their ability to do the practice. And the whole purpose of the imagination is to know that other people can do it and to go beyond any story you might tell yourself of, oh, I'm not special enough, I'm not good enough, my situation isn't right. They could do it, and they want to share with you their ability to do it. So having said that, we can bring our attention to the three-pointed object, in breath, out breath, body, and begin. Of course, this is your meditation time. You can do whatever you wish. I'm going to guide, if you'd like to follow along with the guidance, I'm going to guide intro to the practice. So for the first 5 minutes or so, we'll do stages 1 through 3, and then we'll have time to work with stage 4. So in stage 1, eyes on the road, hands on the wheel, you're noticing the difference between being with, breathing in, breathing out body, between attention and distraction. The two critical skills for stage 1, noticing, are noticing the difference between distraction and attention, and choosing to steer back to attention. If you've done that a few times, you could move to stage 2, where we're connecting with the object, we're becoming more engaged, you might say more curious or more intimate with the whole experience of breathing in. There's so much going on, the layered richness of breathing in. And the same for breathing out, so much going on, the layered richness of breathing out. And then in between breaths, resting your attention on the experience of body. And again, so much going on. So we're connecting with breathing in, breathing out, body. Eyes are on the road, hands on the wheel, foot on the gas. Each time we go up a level or up a stage or add a stage, we're adding more energy. So a little bit more foot on the gas, more energy to the attention. We're still noticing, still connected with the object, and we're noticing the beginning, middle, and end of the in-breath, the beginning, middle, and end of breathing out, and in between, body. So even more energy to your attention. If you're ready, it's completely your choice. You could move to stage 4, so more gas pedal, more energy to the attention. We move from the 7-pointed object to being continually and completely in the experience of breathing in, from when you first notice the breath is coming in all the way through, not letting go, not letting your attention move from breathing in. And then continually and completely with breathing out from the very beginning, all the way through, not letting go, to the very end of the out breath. You don't have to catch the last molecule, but there's this sense of the breath is complete. And then in between breaths, you're resting completely and continuously in body. For some of us, the body part might be very short. For others, it may be longer. But the idea is continuously and completely with breathing in, continuously and completely with breathing out, and in between breaths, continuously and completely with body. The foot's on the gas pedal, so eyes on the road, hands on the wheel. We're still noticing distraction and steering back. We've added getting engaged or interested in the object, all the richness of the experiences, and now we're continuously and completely in the experience. We're looking for that perfect little moment of just continuous and complete. If your attention wavers, just bring it back. If your attention feels dull, like this is hard work, just give yourself a little reset, however you do that, and then start again. If the sound took you away, brighten. If it's just a sound, carry on. We are allowing our attention to abide. The practice is called calm abiding, with breathing in, breathing out, and in between breaths, body, continuously and completely. Eyes are on the road, hands are on the wheel. We're not taking our attention off of the road. We're very engaged with what's going on, all the richness of the experience, trying to find that perfect place on the gas pedal where there's just enough energy to hold our attention continuously and completely, breathing in, breathing out, body. Brighten. Stage 1, noticing the difference between distraction and attention. Stage 2, connecting with all the richness of the object, breathing in, breathing out, body. Stage 3, extending into the 7 points, beginning, middle, and end of breathing in, beginning, middle, and end of breathing out, trying to stay your attention with breathing in, breathing out, body. Stage 4, continuing attention, continuously and completely. That perfect spot on the gas pedal where you're able to stay with breathing in, breathing out, in between breaths, body. Allow the sound of the bell to call your attention back from the space of calm abiding to how you normally hold attention. Look around, trigger the reorienting reflex. You can smile or not. Choice is yours. This is a perfect time if you have something you'd like to share, an experience you'd like to share, a thought you'd like to talk about, question you'd like to ask. Floor is open. A cup of coffee you'd like to sip? Yes. I saw a couple of coffee cups go up, or teacups, so it's like, oh, good. Joan?
So why body? Why not just breathing in, breathing out?
And what do you do in between in and out?
Oh, I just start over again, I guess. I mean,
But
I
it's,
mean, I do it. I do the body,
yeah, yeah.
but it just I'm kind of curious about why that was added, or because initially when I learned meditation, it was it was just breathing out at that time.
Yes. That's a very advanced practice instruction, that go out with the breath and let go. That's very advanced. Um, and that's how we did it, right? I think the body is there to make it easier to hold your attention. That there's no opening in the in the flow of your attention for distraction to creep in. So, or you might say there's always something going on that you could pay attention to. For most people, they breathe out. Now, everybody's different. So if you're different, let's celebrate the difference. Vive la différence, right? But for most people, you breathe out, there's a little bit of a gap. A second, 4 seconds, everybody has their own speed. And then you breathe in. And then there might be a little gap there, and then you breathe out again, right? So it's like a no gap practice. And some of you may be thinking, wait a minute, when I first learned to do this, the instruction was mind the gap. That's later. That's a much more advanced instruction. So, and my experience when I first heard this, I thought, wow, that would really help. It helped me. And I thought it would help a lot of other people who for years had been trying to do the breathing out or just in and out, but mind is constantly wandering. It's like, oh no, this will be really helpful. And once you get good at staying completely and continuously, then there are other things that you can do. Right? So you've done the Awakening the Sky program. I don't want to talk a lot about that right here, but that's like being in the gap. It's just, but we work our way up to that, right? So, good question. Do you want to ask more, or did that do it?
No, that was great. I think what I would have to do would be to try it without and see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess I have tried it without, actually.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. Think about what happened. And it could be good. Some people can do it the other way. It's not a one size fits all world, which is to me very important, that, this instruction will work for many people, and other people, they just don't want to do it. And it's like, fine. There are other ways. Margaret?
Well, so I just go back to the actual instruction, which
Right.
is, you know, intention, view, intention, and posture.
Hmm.
And we start with body. It's like the first foundation of mindfulness is body.
Right.
And the instruction of just being in the breath takes you to sort of the detail of the physicality of it, but it doesn't highlight it. And the way that Dan's taught this, actually underlining body in the openness of whatever you call that, the gap, the space in between breaths or whatever, for me, a reminder of, right, this is the beginning. This is where we start. We start with posture. We start with being in a body. Um, and that has been really, really helpful for me, Joan, to, after all my years of meditating, to very simply just come back to, right, mindfulness of body. Start with your posture, right? Commit to it, keep coming back in some way. So that's a piece for me. And I know I'm bringing something extra into the teaching, Brian, but
Oh, that's okay. It enriches. There is a set of teachings that this does not specifically go to, but since you opened the door, um, called the Four Foundations of Mindfulness. And there's lots of ways to translate the four of them. The way that those of us who grew up inside of the Vajradhatu Shambhala world received them were mindfulness of body, mindfulness of effort, mindfulness of livelihood, and mindfulness of mind. And you might think of stages one through four as the first two foundations. That it's very much an embodied practice. That's the mindfulness of body. And every time we're like adding more gas, foot on the gas, right? Or noticing distraction and steering back, that's effort. And so we're calibrating and paying very careful attention of how to hold ourselves mindful. And the word that gets translated as mindful, I'm going to give you a very folksy translation. It basically means remembering what you're doing. So that's where I love the driving the car metaphor. Like you're driving down the road, you remember you're driving. You begin to go into a daydream and then you steer back because you have to steer back. You're driving a car. It's dangerous if you don't steer back. It's very important to keep in the lane, right? To recollect, to keep the present attention on what it is you're trying to do. Right? So that's mindfulness of effort. And then we'll get to mindfulness of livelihood and the others in the second program, Entering the Stream, which most of you have done. I think everybody but Roland has done that one. It's stages 5 through 9. Right? And we end at mindfulness of mind. Stages 8 and 9 are like mindfulness of mind. So thank you, Margaret, for opening the door to that. I haven't
okay.
talked about that in this, but and just in case anybody likes to compare these kind of things, the way Trungpa Rinpoche and Shambhala talks about mindfulness of effort is a very Tibetan Vajrayana point of view. If you look that up, I don't know, Wikipedia, Chat GPT, whatever, or you Google it, you're more than likely to find a South Asian point of view, which is a completely different way of looking at the aliveness of experience. So just to know that there's more than one way to talk about stage 5, 6, 7. But
Yeah,
let's stage 4. Go ahead, Joan.
I think I probably spent a couple of years doing the Four Foundations of Mindfulness as my practice, but they weren't those four.
Really?
Yeah, so I had a different experience. They were mindfulness of body, mindfulness of mind, mindfulness of feeling, mindfulness of hold on, body, mind, feeling, sensations, which is kind of like which is similar to mindfulness of body.
Well, it's interesting because feeling and sensations are often two presentations of mindfulness of livelihood or mindfulness of the aliveness of experience. So it's almost like they did that and I'm wondering where's effort. So
yeah, that never came into it. I mean, was an effort I guess you always
Yeah,
put effort into it,
yeah,
but yeah,
yeah.
it was a little different. I've never, I often read up about the Four Foundations, and
Yeah.
sometimes it was translated or talked about a little differently, like
Mhm.
sensations and feelings would be the same in some, but I
Right,
interpreted it as
right,
feelings more like emotion
right,
feelings.
right.
And but I never heard of effort or livelihood. Those were the paramitas.
They are also the paramitas, and that's the thing. We're trying to uh, receive from the masters a tradition. It's very rich and layered, and it's sort of like we all had grandmothers. So imagine our grandmothers were teaching us how to bake an apple
Crumble.
pie or strudel or something, right? They would all have different recipes and proportions, and it's all apple pie, but it's all very different, right? And then families get my apple pie is the best, and it's like, well, I generally have not met an apple pie I didn't like. So even the McDonald's apple pie I'll eat, right? So in terms of the foundations of mindfulness or how to describe calm abiding, there are many, many, many descriptions. And every teacher, every lama, every whatever, will have a version of doing this.
Yeah,
So,
I like that analogy. That's a great one.
yeah. When we get to pie, it might be time to stop. But does anybody else have anything you'd like to, allow me a pun, dish out? Oh, I saw that groan, that look of groaning from one of you. Oh my God. All right, friends. Well, that might be enough. I look forward to practicing with you. It's noon my time, so now 12:37 and 8:37 on the West Coast. I really appreciate your showing up and being part of this. We'll get together again tomorrow if the fates allow, and I'll look forward to seeing you then. So until next, I wish you a good remainder of your day.
Thanks, everybody. Good to see you.
Thanks so much.
Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Love you all.